Welcome back to another podcast. This is Sierra with Sierra Chats Podcast. Obviously, it's me with my favorite guest. Should I say that? I shouldn't say that because like everybody is my favorite.
It got me rubbing my nose. Are you gonna cut that off?
No.
Shoot, now I'm talking. Sierra, can we start over?
No.
Sierra, I have like a tickle in my nose. Can we please start over?
It's okay. Nobody gonna see the tickle. We all gonna see the tickle. We all gonna laugh.
Guys, she's lying. She's lying because she did that to me before. I did something and I told her not to post it, and she posted it.
How would you rate my friendship?
I mean, I wouldn't ask you.
Okay. Anyway, but welcome back to the podcast with my favorite friend Ashley. How are you doing, Ashley? How was your day?
I'm doing great. How about you, Sierra?
I don't know because I don't know what happened.
I'm crying.
You are crying. Hey, you gave me tears earlier today.
I did.
Why? Because listen, homegirl got some news.
I got news to share.
Wait, do you want to wipe away your tears? Because you got some tears.
Oh, should I away my tears? Did I get them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the news that Ashley has to share today on the podcast is...
This is not even on my Instagram yet, guys, and people are going to be so surprised probably if they don't know yet. But I'm engaged.
Homie is engaged. What camera are we looking at? I don't know. There's 3 of them. Homie is engaged, girl. We everybody is super excited.
Yeah.
I mean, these people didn't know, but like everybody else is super excited.
It's one of the wildest things because like I said, like it's not even on Instagram. Like it's not even on Instagram that I'm dating.
Oh,
not
yeah.
like it's a big deal because I mean not like not like I have tons of followers on Instagram, but like it's not on social media that I'm dated, and so I don't know where. Boop, surprise! I'm engaged.
It's like I've upgraded from boyfriend to engage.
Yep.
Yeah, I nearly did the wrong finger.
Yeah.
Anyway, girl, she made me cry earlier today because she asked me to be her bridesmaid. Well, I didn't like cry because like I don't like to cry in front of people.
Her eyes got like she was looking at it and her lips popped up a little bit and she's looking downward and I'm like she's gonna cry, and so I'm being the emotional person that I am. I start crying while I'm watching her and I'm like, is that a yes? Is that a yes?
That was a yes. I am so honored to stand beside you on your wedding day. But girl, tell us about Brad. Oh wait, I have a question because I saw this somewhere. So how would you describe Brad in fast food? Like, as you know, I saw this question and I'm like, I need to ask it.
That is so hard because
Brad, by the way, is her fiance.
Brad doesn't do fast food, so I'm trying to compare him to fast food, and that is so hard. What's fast food that's not really fast food?
I don't know.
Like, I'm trying to think.
Kava.
Brad would be like a Kava out, just like he's not a big fan of his fast food. He prefers his full meals, something that's clean.
Oh, is he like a meat and potato type of guy?
No, not potatoes. But Brad smokes meat.
Oh,
he's big.
No, you said Brad smokes meat, and I heard Brad smokes, and then all of my mind went to like a vape.
No, Brad doesn't smoke.
No, he doesn't be doing that.
No, he smokes meat.
Okay.
So like really good brisket, really good pulled pork, and so
he do the good meat.
Yeah, he's very like, people say that it's fun, the fact that both of us have a love for food. I'm not a foodie, but apparently I'm a foodie to some people who don't understand food. I don't know, but Brad is also a foodie, and so when it comes to eating food together, we are very...
You're all about your food.
Yeah.
Good food. No, I get that. I understand that. I'm not like the biggest foodie. I eat to stay alive. But I enjoy food, but I'm not like I'm not like you or Rochelle, my sister Rochelle. She is a big foodie. I just eat it. It tastes good, and that's it. How long have you and Brad been together? For the people who don't know.
So we've been together 5.5 months.
Okay, but you've known each other. But you've known each other for like.
So we have been serving together in youth ministry, and so no, I can't say that I've known the guy for years and years. But we worked together in youth ministry. We live literally less than a mile, maybe even a half a mile from each other, 2 blocks away, pretty much. And so we work tightly together in youth ministry and at church in the sound system, and just different areas like that. But yeah, it seems like we've known each other a lot longer than we actually have.
You didn't meet at church.
We did, yeah. It was actually, I don't know if I should say how we met, like not how we met, but like the whole story of our process of dating.
Share for the people. It's a podcast. This is what we do.
I guess that's what we do. So, Brad, hopefully you don't mind me sharing these details. I mean, we talk about it all the time with other people, but
if you talk about it with other people, Brad,
it should be fine.
Brad, it's fine.
So, about a month before Brad had asked me out, I was driving down the road and randomly the thought came to mind, actually, would you consider Brad? And my first initial thought was absolutely not. And it's like, why not? And it was like, well, I'm not really, like, he's not my type. I'm not really interested. And I was also in a place of, like, I'm just ready to be, like, I wasn't just ready. I was in, like, excitement of being full singlehood, throwing myself fully into youth ministry, which I've talked about already on this podcast, what I do. And so I was like, no. And then I went back to, like, I'm not, that's not my type. And then it was like, that aside, would you consider him? And then I got mad at myself. It's like, bro, you're by yourself in a car. Why the heck are you having this all-out conversation about a random guy?
Wait, hold up. Can I just pause? You're in the car alone, and you said you were talking to yourself about this man.
Yeah.
Out loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mind you, never even like the thought of like this was not even a thought before, like it's just a random thought. And then the very next day I went to go hang out with a family from my church that I haven't hung out at their house before, and the husband is a very blunt guy, and he goes and asks me, he's like, so what are your thoughts on marriage? Would you ever consider getting married? I was like, yeah, if God brings the right guy along, then absolutely. And then he said, okay, that's good to know. He leaves. Later on, the wife and I are talking the same day, and she's like, oh, so what are your thoughts on Brad? And I'm just like, oh, well, really? And she's like, yeah. Like, I was like, do I really have to share? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, to be honest, for the first time ever, he came to mind yesterday. And she's like, so I was like, no, but no. Like, no. And so she was like, he's a great guy, though. He's this, that, and this. And I was like, yeah, but like, no, not for me.
Yeah.
And then later on that week, I hit a massive cat that tore the bottom of my car.
The cat tore the bottom of your car.
Yeah, I think the
cat dead?
He kept running afterwards, or was he rolling? I don't know.
Maybe he was on life number 5.
Yeah, something like that.
He was rolling.
You never see those animals along the road when they get hit? How they just go down the road? Boom, 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 boom. That's what the cat was doing. So I don't know if it was dead or just flying because how fast I was. I wasn't going fast, guys. I wasn't doing illegal stuff. But yeah. So anyways, I've
never seen that, actually.
Back to Brad, not the cat. So Brad, like I said, lives a couple houses away from me, and he has already done an oil change for me and help out, like, kind of. And so I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I hit a cat. He's a mechanic, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, would you be able to come help me fix my car, because now I have this big plastic thing that I'm pulling with me. And the boy didn't respond back to my text message.
Brad.
A couple days later passed. He finally texted back, and he's like, oh, sorry, I was out waiting. I didn't have my phone on me, but yeah, I can come look at it tomorrow. So he came, looked at my car, he fixed it, everything was well, no big deal. That week was just a crazy week, and like the thought of Brad didn't come to mind. Nothing was like, it was just a normal week for me. Actually wasn't normal. Found out my grandfather was sick and possibly dying soon. He actually just passed away 2 weeks ago.
I'm sorry. But did I know that? I didn't know that.
I don't know that you did. It was my great grandfather, so I haven't. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And so like I was like, oh, whatever. I didn't have time to think about. Yeah. Whatever. Mind you, he wasn't even like something that like I wanted.
Yeah.
Saturday night, I go to the youth center. I was there Friday night, and then I went again Saturday night, and I was so exhausted I didn't want to go home, so I sat in the youth center and I just chilled there. And Brad surprisingly sat in the youth center and just chilled there too. It's like probably 10 o'clock, and then we start talking. And it went from us sitting across the room from each other to him sitting right next to me, and we're just talking and laughing, and time went by, and it's like 1:30 in the morning. Mind you, the boy was leaving for North Carolina the very next day, where he was going to help out with the crisis relief that happened there. And he was driving, and he still hadn't even packed yet. Mind you, I was hosting his Little Feet choir at my house, and I had to finish cleaning and doing things for them that night, and I had to wake up early to have them at their program. And so it was a crazy night, and we just kept talking, and it just felt so easy and so natural. And that's where I was like, bro, I wasn't expecting it to be easy to talk to Brad. I wasn't expecting it to be like what is this? And so the idea came to mind again, like, is there a potential in here? No. No. And then the next day we're at church, Sunday, and he was brought up again by someone, and it was just a conversation like, he's a great guy, Ashley, like, have you considered him? Like, I think your personality and his personality be really good for together. And like, there was just a lot of different things about him. I was like, I don't really want to hear this again. And so I lost it. I just could not process. I could not. And so I just sent my friend a long voice message, just venting to her of just like my frustration, and I'm just overwhelmed and I don't know what to think or do. And it was just a lot for me to process. And that was the first time I expressed it to a friend, like what was going on. It was like 2 weeks later after the thought of him came up. A week went by, and I talked to my mom about it, and my mom had informed me that she's been praying that God would bring a guy into my life. Mind you, my mom is a new believer within a year. And so,
I didn't
like,
know that.
yeah, it's really exciting. And so, like, she was like, I've been praying for you that God would bring a guy along, and she was all excited about this, like, no, Mom, stop, like, yeah, but no, Mom, no.
I get you.
And like, there was just different things, affirmations that I was getting over and over again. And then it was the whole thing. I was like, okay, now, Lord, like, I don't know if I really want this, but I can't get this guy out of my mind for some reason. Like, get him out. And I was just getting all like, yeah. And we had a bunch of different things happening that we're planning for. And a few of them that he was involved in. So the one was like, we were having a Thanksgiving party that was coming up, and he was going to help out with that. Another one was we were having a Christmas party coming up, and he was going to help out with that. And so like, he came over to help out with Thanksgiving dinner, to help me set up, to get things decorated. This was like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and it was just him and I, and we hung out, we laughed, we had a good time. Thanksgiving dinner actually happened, and we got caught up in conversating. And the next day we were supposed to meet to talk about the Christmas party, and we met at 6 o'clock. We kept talking into 9:30, but we only talked about
6 a.m. or 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Okay,
Thank the good Lord. Yep. From 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. we were talking, and in that time, maybe 30-45 minutes max was meant for the Christmas party. The rest of it was just connecting. But it's just interesting because that day that we met to talk about the Christmas party, I finally got to the point that I just was processing everything. Like, am I even in a place that I want to be in a relationship? What does it look like to be in a relationship? Can I even like make time for a relationship? Or like, what if this relationship works out and that leads to marriage? Like, am I at a place that I'm ready to like like, honestly, this is kind of crazy to say it out loud, but like, the thought that came to mind is like, well, what does it mean to be a submissive wife? Like, can I even be submissive? Like, I've been single for so long. This is just my whole viewpoint. A lot changed a lot since but like, these are just Ashley, like, panic mode Ashley. You're making faces.
No, I'm just thinking. I continue. So, okay, should I say my thought?
Yeah, say your thoughts.
I'll not remember.
Yeah.
When you say submissive, what was going through your mind when you say the word submissive? Because like, coming from the Mennonite culture, well, that
was the thing. I didn't know what submissive really meant to me because the influence that I've had and whatnot, and just how chaotic my life is just going and going. Is like, am I going to be content with just standing put? Am I going to be content with just caring for my husband and like whatever? And like my view of submission is so much different than what I had been at before I started dating. But it was just a lot of freak out. And so I finally got to the point, it was like, okay, Lord, okay, I cannot put up with this anymore. I don't even know if I want to date this guy. I genuinely don't know, but I need to know today, whether this is something that I need to consider praying about and bringing before you, or if I need to shut it down, because I cannot continue to serve in ministry with the unknowns of how this guy feels or how I feel. And so something has to give today or we're done. This is a whole month of just like going back and forth and just like whatever. And so like that was like, if nothing happened that day, I was going to close my heart to it.
I remember the phone calls.
Yeah. And it was just kind of crazy. And it's crazy, like when we got to talking or anything like that, just a quick brief of his part of everything.
Yeah.
So I always said that when I start dating, I want to pray about it for about at least 2 weeks before I say yes.
Okay.
When I get asked, before I give an answer.
Yeah.
I don't want to just straight out no, straight out yes. And there's a couple other things that I had that were important to me in regards to dating. Mm-hmm. So anyways, you know how I said I hit a cat and he couldn't text me back? He didn't text me back?
Oh, yes, sir. So
he was actually away on a retreat where they didn't have their phone, and then he was just out in the woods by himself with the Lord. And one thing he brought before the Lord was like, this is my desire. I desire to get married one day. I desire to like, you know, to be in a relationship. But if this is not your desire, I completely give it to you. And like I surrender it. So that same week that he randomly came to mind to me was the same week that he was out praying before the Lord, just giving up his desires to God. And then we were just connecting over time. And like before then we communicated, we connected, but nothing ever like we did until both like that prayer that he had. Yeah. And then the day that he asked me out was actually the first time that it even came to his mind, like, oh, whoa, Ashley. Mm-hmm. So I had a whole month of praying about this, processing this, and just going before the Lord and just getting counsels from different people and whatnot, and not knowing how he felt, but he was oblivious to all of this. And I think I just made up a word, but don't stop.
Oblivious.
Stop.
We're good.
Stop. Yo, stop. Bro, stop.
We're good.
And
I wasn't gonna point it out, but
I did. I had to call me out.
I was not gonna do it this podcast.
I
was not gonna do it on this episode.
I had to stop now. So that day that he asked me out, I came to his mind. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh, okay, I need to like, but he wasn't planning to even ask me out that day. Mm-hmm. But
was when you guys were at the sitting?
Yeah, like it was that morning. So that day I was going crazy about, Lord, like take these, like do something with this. And like that same day,
I can attest to the fact, because she was calling me and she was texting me, and I'm like, I'm like the supportive hype person. Yeah. I support you in your delusions. I am there 100%.
I wasn't sure if I was being delusional.
Still there.
Yeah, it surely has been. Yeah.
Anyway, but no, we're good.
And so like it's just so funny how the Lord works, because like literally I was at the point that like something has changed today or I'm done. Mm-hmm. And like he was at the point like, oh, whoa, what is happening here? And like he wasn't even planning to ask me out that day, because we had these different events that were coming up, and he's like, what if I ask her out? And it's awkward. And so when he finally asked me out, he shared with me like how like just 3.5 weeks ago, like this was his prayer and just his process and everything. And hearing him share those details was kind of like, whoa, well, this is where I was at 4 weeks ago, like just a couple days later. And it felt like I had to like at least give it a chance. Like, I don't know where this relationship's gonna go. I don't know if you're the person for me or not, but I know that based off of what you're sharing with your prayer and what you went through, and with my battle with the Lord last month and everything I went through, that I have to say yes to at least see where this goes. Yeah. And so I went into it with complete open arms. Like, I don't know what this is gonna happen. Like, Lord, this is at my fingertip. You take with it as you want to. And let me just tell you that this has been, I don't know, it's been so hard for me with how much healing I've gotten from it, that sometimes I don't feel like I'm worthy of it. And girl. He is just so gentle. He's just so caring and just complete different personality than me.
Very much opposites. They say opposites attract.
Yeah, but he cares and loves so well.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah, and like my past trauma, I'm not sure how much I've talked about on the podcast. I think my first podcast with you, I talked a little bit about some of my abuse and whatnot. Like, he's understanding and respectful of that, and everything he does to love me is to make sure that I'm cared for and that I'm not triggered or that I'm not this, and just like letting me know that I am worthy. And like even like when I first talked to him about like some of my abuse and like some of the things that I went through, like his words to me were like, I still see you as priceless regardless of what. And so he bought me like a priceless necklace, and I hang it in my bathroom. So every morning when I'm getting ready, I'm just reminded like I am priceless.
Girl, stop.
And, yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. So you got engaged last week.
Thursday.
Has
it been a week yet?
No, it hasn't. Were you expecting to get engaged? That girl, the things you were out there like this man. Poor Brad.
I feel bad for anyone that has to deal with me.
No, don't. We love it.
In a surprising aspect of things. Because remember last year my birthday party?
Yep. Yes. Yes. You were. You were horrible, and I was just trying to be like, because I knew all the things that were happening, and you did it, and you were just like at my house. You were at my house. I couldn't go because I had like why didn't I had something else happening, or I had like a head thing. I wasn't feeling.
You had a headache or something like that. You weren't feeling the greatest.
Yeah, but I was planning on going until I couldn't go, and she was at my house, and she was a mess, and she was mad, and she was just like low key pissed off.
Low key or high key?
High key. Anyway, continue. So she didn't know. She didn't know what all was happening, and she thought something else was happening that wasn't gonna happen.
So I learned my lesson from that, and so I went into this engagement surprise like, I want to be surprised. I wanted to be surprised, guys. I genuinely wanted to be surprised. Was I surprised?
No.
Was I surprised? Okay, so the reality of it all is, so here's how it went. I suspected he was actually going to propose to me on Saturday, but he did not propose to me on Saturday. And when he didn't propose to me on Saturday, I'm talking about last Saturday, I was like, okay, bro's going to propose to me on Thursday, because that's our last date before Amber's wedding. And then after Amber's wedding, the next time we actually have a date is Memorial Day weekend. And then we're talking about getting married. When we're talking about getting married, like, so I'm no Wonder Woman.
Just to clarify, one of her other friends, Amber, is getting married this coming weekend, and last Saturday was the Saturday before Amber's wedding.
Yep. No, that was 2 Saturdays ago.
2 Saturdays, yeah.
Yes.
That.
Yeah. And so it didn't happen then. So I was a little like, okay, so then Thursday, it's going to happen Thursday. And so I was all prepared for Thursday. Like, he's going to post to me Thursday. But then Wednesday night, boy dropped the bomb on me, and he's like, well, mind you, so Monday he told me that he's on his way to go pick up something. And I'm like, he's going to pick up the ring. But then Wednesday night, he told me that he's doing something on Saturday, but he can't tell me what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And so the moment he told me that, I'm like, is he meeting with my mom to discuss proposing to me? Is he going to pick up the ring?
Brad, you can't be telling her these things.
I ask questions. I'm so naughty. I even called my mom. I was like, so what are you doing Saturday morning? I'm so bad. But like, I'm just like, okay, what are you thinking? Like, what's going on here? And so that was a whole big like that threw me off. Mm-hmm. So Thursday comes around, and Thursday I was nervous. I was low-key stressed because I didn't know what was going on. I knew that we were going to go for dinner, we were going to eat pasta, and I knew we were going to watch the sunset, but I didn't know what was happening. Mm-hmm. So he comes and picks me up, and like, I wore a cute little white dress just in case, but like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And so I'm on this date, and I'm looking in the back of his car, trying to see if I can see anything. I'm checking his pockets, trying to see if I can see anything. And I'm just like, it's not happening today, because he said he's doing something Saturday, so it's not happening today.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Well, then we go out to eat, and we're legit talking about how I'm gonna react when he finally proposed to me. Mm-hmm. Am I gonna be surprised? Mm-hmm. Am I gonna laugh? And like, what my reaction's gonna be like. So we go watch the sunset, and as soon as we get to the park and we get set up, we get kicked out because they're closing. Oh. And mind you, it was really cloudy. There wasn't really a sunset. And so we go to the other side of the park, and we climb over a little bridge, and we go down, and it's like rocky. And the whole entire time, I'm setting myself up for a proposal.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm setting myself up for this. I'm standing at the edge of the rock by the water, just looking at a daze, prepared to be told, Ashley, turn around. That's not how it happened, but I set myself up for that. In my head, that's how it's going to happen. And the thing is, it started raining.
Oh.
And so you think right away, proposal flop. It's raining, right? Wrong. So he goes and says, should I get my umbrella? And I was like, but look at the clouds. The clouds legit above us were splitting. Oh. So like the rain cloud went one way and the other way, and you can see the rain falling on the water right in front of us. And there were some guys fishing on the other side, and you can hear them. And they end up leaving too. You can hear the rain, you can see the rain, but we barely got wet. And I remember taking pictures of the clouds, thinking to myself, now you should propose. And so the guys leave, you hear the truck close, and I'm like, so Brad, what are you thinking? And he's like, the guys just left. I was like, is that seriously what you're thinking? He's like, well, what if I can't tell you what I'm thinking? I was like, psh, why can't you tell me what you're thinking? And he goes and says, he stays quiet for a bit, and he goes, well, remember the conversation we had earlier today? Mind you, dinner? I was like, well, we talked about a lot of things. What conversation? Because that's true. And then he starts digging behind him for his jacket, and the moment he started grabbing for his jacket, I knew it was time.
You knew the moment was here.
I'm
the
like,
moment came.
It's happening. It's happening. And so I started saying no. Like, and I started cracking up laughing. He's like, you're gonna have to stop laughing. I was like, I can't.
You know, I can envision this. I'm envisioning it.
He goes around me and gets down on one knee right in front of the water. So it's the Brad, the water, the trees, whatever. And then he goes and he proposes, and I'm just like, yeah. I was kind of surprised, but I wasn't surprised. Like, I thought it might happen.
Like, you thought it might happen, but it happened different than what you thought it was gonna happen.
And I was also like, I was so confused about what was happening Saturday. So what ended up happening was, originally the ring wasn't gonna be ready until Friday evening, but he had a wedding rehearsal Friday evening, so he couldn't pick it up till Saturday morning.
Got you.
And so because of that, he wasn't planning to propose to me until Saturday night.
Got you.
But he got a phone call Thursday morning at 9:30 saying the ring was ready for pickup. So during his lunch break, he ran to Lancaster to pick up the ring.
Got you.
And so he was able to propose to me on Thursday.
Yeah.
But had he not told me that little aspect of like he has plans Saturday morning, he can't tell me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been surprised at all. But because there was still that what's happening Saturday, I was kind of surprised. I'm like, wait, this actually happened. Like, but yeah. So I don't know. I guess I kind of was surprised, but not really, but kind of, yeah. Like,
yeah.
I was surprised by the ring. I was not expecting like. I love
beautiful,
the ring.
It's a beautiful ring.
People say it's so me, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I don't know what
no, but
so mean.
It's 100% you. And
that's what I hear.
You told me when you FaceTime me and you said, guess what kind of ring I want, and I was the only one who. Why was I the only one who guessed? We were eating brunch together, and you said, guess what kind of ring that I want and that we're looking at, and I guess this the
stone, the marquise.
Yeah. Why none of your other friends thought that?
I don't know.
They don't know you like I know you.
Apparently not. I'm lucky to have you standing with me, bro.
Okay. So this is something that people say when you're engaged.
Yeah.
Friendships shift and change. Do you want to talk about that? Is our friendship going to shift and change? I feel like in certain ways, yeah.
In certain ways it might. Like in some areas we might get closer in the process of like you being with me, a part of my wedding planning and whatnot. Like in that area. But you know, like I don't know how. I don't know. This is still so new. I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought that's more when you're dating. Friendships shift and change.
But it didn't.
No.
But that's something that people say, and I was going to be like, well, if our friendship's going to change, should we talk about it for other people? But I don't think so.
Like, there's definitely other friendships that have changed because of time and whatnot. Like, you don't have time to connect with them, and there's different things like that. And I have other friends that are currently dating, and so you have that dynamic of it. But no, I don't know. No, we're good.
Yeah,
I mean, we went through so much crap together, boo. Besties for lifey.
I feel like.
Oh wait.
That was weird. I don't know what the.
Does that ring feel weird?
No, it doesn't, because I have rings on.
This ring feels so natural on my finger.
Of course
it's so funny. I have another ring. If you look at my finger right here, you see I have a tan line.
Yeah.
I have another ring that I will randomly put on this finger just to get the feel of it, and it felt so wrong. And I'm like, ew. Like, I'm not gonna like have an engagement ring on, but like, it feels so good.
Of course it does, because it's perfect. So, a question.
Yeah, I'll try to answer.
Also, you can ask questions too.
Okay. So wait, can I ask you a question, boo?
You can ask me a question.
So, my honey boo boo child. I don't know why I said that.
I don't know why you said that, because that'd be weird.
You're not my honey boo boo child, but there's that show, right? Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah. Oh, that's an old show. That was that little girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think she sued her mom because her mom tried to take all her money.
Oh.
Reality TV, man.
I'm telling you the drama.
I think I saw that on TikTok. Anyway.
I'm going to go check when we're done with this podcast.
What's your question?
So earlier you made a comment that you're going to forget.
Oh.
Do the people know why you're going to forget? Do you know why Sierra's going to forget? Is it okay to talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know how to talk about that.
Can I just say it?
Yeah.
Her skull done collapsed, bro.
Oh, man. The way only half of my brain is working right now. And so, but like, it's fixable. It's fixable. And
not laughing at the fact that it's fixable. Just laughing at the way I said that. Her skull done collapsed,
it done
bro.
collapsed again for the second time. So, but it's so. I've had some concussions in the past, multiple, and there are some things I'm not supposed to do that I'm not allowed to do because like it'll jar my head and then my skull will collapse again and whatever. But I'm working. I have a cranial head neurologist specialist person that is fixing my skull. Well, he's going to start in June. Fix the skull and get the brain working again, because right now it's just like boom boom, not only having the brain working. Isn't that kind of funny? So I guess the other part is smushed, you know.
I just thought of a smash burger. I just said smash burger.
I'm sorry. Anyway, and some other stuff. So yeah, so I forget. Like my short term memory suffers greatly.
Do you remember what happened earlier when I got here?
Yes. You asked me to be your bridesmaid.
Okay, I'm just testing your short-term memory.
There are some times like I'll have a conversation.
Mean of me, Sierra.
No, that's
the way
funny.
that's so mean.
No, the way it's funny though, because I have dark humor. But I was talking to somebody last week, I think, and we were in mid conversation, and all of a sudden everything blanked, and I had no idea what she had just said or the last 5 minutes of conversation. And so then I had to. It was really awkward. I had to play it like I knew exactly what was happening. So then I just, you know how I can get on play and just like, you just keep the conversation going even though you have no idea. But you have to pretend you don't, you know. I got confused saying that. But sometimes there are moments where, boom, it's gone.
Your poor friend is going to listen to this now and know that that's...
Well, but see, I had conversations with a lot of people.
Okay.
So ain't nobody know who I'm talking about.
Are you talking about me?
No.
Okay.
No. Anyway, so did you ever feel, because, you know, we're older, I'm single, you were single up until like 5.5 months ago, up until like 6 months ago, right? For me, did you ever feel like you were in like this crazy waiting season? Did you ever feel like I'm in a waiting season of meeting my now fiance?
Yeah.
Did you feel like it was like...
Yeah, like... Yeah.
Was it like something that you was it like something that you thought about a lot?
There was different seasons in my life where, yes, there was something that's like, okay, like, especially when you have like your friends that are like 4, 5, 6 years younger than you, and they're...
all the babies?
The baby's getting married, and you're just like... Where's mine? But then you also think of like Paul, and you're like, well, am I meant to be single? Like, is this what my calling is? Like, am I able to focus? And so I was back and forth in that limbo, and that's why I'm saying, like, when Brad finally came to place, it was like, well, I finally felt like I was able to, like, it was better to be single and like serve the kingdom of the Lord than to waste my time just like, okay, Lord, what's happening? And I feel like there was times too that it was so much easier to try to take it into my own hand and try to make something happen with like dating apps or something like that. And yeah, we don't talk about Bruno. No.
Okay, so she out here thinking about Paul when she was single. That's definitely not me. Like because I have some friends who are single. Some of them are like me. Some of them are more, where's my man? You know. For me, I'm just like, I genuinely enjoy my life. Someone asked me recently, sometime, if I want to get married and have kids. And I'm like, you know, that's a question. Because, like, sometimes I think, yeah, I think that would be nice. But I'm not like, I think that would be nice. But I'm not like, oh my goodness, I need a man, I need to get married. Like, because I genuinely enjoy my life. I enjoy my, I mean, my successes. I have goals and plans that I want to reach and accomplish, which there's nothing wrong with that. And some days I'm just like, I'm good. I am being single. Like, I'm totally fine with that. Like, I'm totally fine with that. And then some days I'm like, well, maybe
it'll be nice to have my person.
Maybe. Yeah. But like, I don't feel like I'm in this waiting season of like, where my man at?
Paul wasn't either.
Oh, I forget a lot about Paul. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Parents, that's not true. I remember a lot about Paul. Yeah. Anyway.
So I don't know why you were talking and you said something about like having a family, having kids and whatnot, and it triggered.
Oh, it triggered. What did it trigger?
Aspect of like you're single, and then you have the question, when are you gonna start dating? And especially as a single girl,
yeah,
that is the worst. A single guy, I think, is one thing because he has more in control. But as a single girl, when are you gonna start dating?
Girl,
when are you gonna start dating? Wait, pause. You start dating. When are you gonna get married? When are you gonna get married? You get married, then oh, when are you gonna have kids? When are you gonna have kids? And then it's like, oh, when are you gonna have more kids? Are you done having kids? And it's like there's always expectations of more and more and more and more. But what happens if you never get married? Or what happens if you can't have kids?
Yeah, or like, that really pisses me off.
That's the part that terrifies me.
I need to that really annoys me.
Yeah, that's the part that terrifies me with the idea of getting married now. Is just like those questions of like, oh, like I already have gotten asked those questions, and I'm not even married yet. I just got engaged.
Yeah,
but it's like, have you guys talked about when you want to have kids? And it's like, is it any of your business?
No, it's nobody's business. It's nobody's business.
But then it's just the question of like, oh, so when are you guys gonna try to have kids, or when are you guys gonna have kids? And it's like, well, what if the Lord doesn't have that for me? Like, what if I'm unable to have kids? Well, what if there's complications? And then you get asked those questions over and over and over again, and that is just so common in our circle.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's so stupid.
Stupidity.
But then as a single person, when are you gonna get married? Oh, sure, there's someone great out there for you.
And there might. And what if I don't even want to get married? Yeah. But to say I don't want to get married is like sin to some people. Also, but it's not sin. You know, I just don't know if I want to get married. Yeah. But the church isn't really. So how do you feel about the church, singleness, and marriage? If you're older and you're single.
What do you mean by that question, the church, singleness, and marriage?
I don't know. But, like, I feel like the church is very geared towards, and there's nothing wrong with it, families, marriage, all of the things, right? I don't know. Maybe we had this conversation before on the podcast. I don't know.
There's harder to find the community. There's harder to find community for single people within the church than there is a family within the church.
Yeah. And a lot of it is you'll find your calling with your spouse. Once you're married, the calling is this, and that.
But not everyone is called to get married.
Exactly. So why is there this stigma?
There's so many people in the Bible who fulfill the kingdom of the Lord, like on earth.
Yeah.
As single people.
Yeah. So then why is there such a stigma and like this push when you're older to get married? I mean, but like I'm not against marriage. I'm not against marriage. I think marriage is beautiful. All the things.
You're against me getting married, Sierra? How dare you?
But like I feel like I can't say I don't know if I want to get married. But all that to say is I do be doing the yaps though sometimes. You know.
Do you have any stories?
For the podcast? No.
Same.
Yeah. You did the apps. The apps?
Don't do them.
What are red flags in a guy?
Actually, I've heard of amazing stories that come from apps.
Yeah. Oh, I have some friends.
So like, I have been a part of 3 weddings. I think maybe by now that they met on the apps, and so I can't shut down the apps.
Like, I have no problem with the apps, because I'm currently not on them.
Neither am I.
You better not be, girl. I'ma hurt you.
I just had to say that.
Yeah, you better clarify for the people. But so, one question: what do you? Because a lot of girls are like, "What is a red flag in a man?" Because they just want to get married so badly. So, what would what are red flags to you that you think are like something people should know?
You just threw a question at me that I haven't even processed, and I should have some red flags in mind right now, but I can't even think. I think a lot of it is how the guy treats you.
Yeah.
Is he a gentleman? Is he self-centered? Is it about his wants, or does he actually think about you and different things? Is he just like, how does he respond to some things that you struggle with? Like, if you're just like, I feel uncomfortable with this. If he's like, nope, it's still gonna be. Or if he's like, I don't know. I
watching his patterns. And not just like, so some guys will post all these spiritual things, but then you're with them and then they're like controlling and manipulative after you know. And I feel like you see that even before the engagement period, but there are some girls, like, because I know people, I think you know some people, relationships where they so badly want to be in a relationship, and so their gut is like, it's given red flag, but they're like, and so they keep the relationship because they want the man, and then they end up in not so great relationships because he's actually abusive or very manipulative or very controlling. How do you spot those? How do you spot that?
I don't know. Your guts just know a lot.
Your gut knows a lot,
It's
man.
so hard because, like you said, we know some people that they've been through that, and that has been a fear for me. Like, what if this marriage? Like, what if I get married to Brad and I see a different side of him that I didn't see before? I don't really. I'm going to see a different side of him. Yeah, obviously, but like a red side of him. Like, I don't know, but I think in that case it's very wise to bring in other people and your friends, like, because a lot of people don't want to do that in relationships, but I think that's how to spot when your gut is like, it's giving red flag. I think one of the biggest red flags is if your relationship is exclusive. Like, even if you are afraid to bring your friends into your relationship, like, you just don't want to because you're afraid what your friends are going to think. Or if he is just kind of like, he doesn't want to spend time with your friends and just exclusive.
I'm 100%
against
red
that.
flag.
Like, my man's is going to have to be, that sounds kind of weird. But yeah, like, we're going to have to be okay with being with my friends. And my friends are going to be involved. My family's going to be involved. I'm going to be with your friends. I'm going to be with your family too. Like, there's no question about it. We're not going to be exclusive. Yes, it's between us two, you and I, but it's going to take a village to make sure this is going to work out. Like,
Yeah, I also think setting boundaries and seeing how he or she, responds to that is also, like, if
boundaries are big.
If they can't respect a boundary, that's a red flag. But see, then I'm the person who, I'll set the boundaries, and then I just let them fall if they just like, and I don't.
At what point do you like?
See, that's why I need the people. I need the people. I do things without people, and then boom, it's just. It's just.
And then boom.
We out here needing community. We out here needing people. We out here needing our friends.
We out here needing Jesus.
One last question, because we need something. Excuse me. One last question. How would you say Brad has shown you? How has Brad brought you closer to the Lord, or has Brad shown you a piece of, like, the Father in a different light?
So I think at the beginning when I was talking about Brad, I mentioned that he has been an aspect of healing for me.
He has been asked as what?
An aspect of healing, like he has shown me healing.
He's been an aspect of healing, yes.
And I think that has been one of the biggest ways that he's brought me, like, closer to the Lord and, like, showed me a different demonstration. So, like, my father's not in my life. I haven't really had the greatest influence of a father figure in my life growing up. I had some figures in my life in my late teens and whatnot, but, like, not as a good example growing up. And one thing that Brad does is he loves gently.
Which you mentioned that previously.
Yeah. And he puts my needs
Before his own?
Before his own.
Oh.
Which can be a healthy thing or an unhealthy thing, but he does it in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Like, he knows his boundaries, but my needs are still there. And just even like with, I think his family has helped a lot with that too. Just like, so fun fact, Brad's mom has watched all the podcasts.
You said that she's sheeping to see this podcast. Hi, Brad's mom. What's her name?
Hi, Marianne.
Hi, Miss Marianne.
But just
I'm gonna meet you at the wedding.
Are we gonna podcast my wedding? No, we're not.
That was a loud silence. Should we?
Do the people want that?
Do we want some BTS behind the scenes of Ashley's wedding? I mean,
if the people want it, then
if the people want it,
we can maybe make something work. But if they don't want it, then it's not worth it.
The people want it.
Let the people vote.
Okay, you're gonna vote if I do behind the scenes of Ashley's wedding. Let us know. Continue.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Girl, I completely forgot. And I have an excuse. It's the brain.
I have wedding on my mind. It's the wedding.
What were we talking about though? Oh, Brad showing you the heart of like
yes, but
you were talking about his mom, and then you said she's seen the podcast. All the podcasts.
I said that because she's going to see this.
Yeah.
So they're going to hear me say this. But like
physical touch.
But just like, she has seen my podcast, the podcast. She's heard some of the things that I've talked about.
Yeah.
And like Brad has shared with them some of the things, like my health issues and different things like that. And just like the way they just still like, oh, they're Mennonites.
Yeah.
And so I was always afraid of like dating a guy that has Mennonite background because like, I'm Latina. I have a crazy background. Like,
I don't know why I did that. Yeah,
I love it though. And so like there was a lot of fear that came into that with how the dynamic of the relationship is going to be. But just even like his parents has helped demonstrate the love of a father and the love of Christ and just the aspect of just me going into this relationship. And so like you see that reflect on my relationship with Brad and the way he cares for me too, and like the acceptance from his family and how that pours out into the way he loves me too. And I'm not sure if I'm answering your question.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
because I don't remember the question, but I'm pretty sure
you asked me how has he brought me closer to the Lord or demonstrated the love of Christ.
Yeah,
I think that's what you asked me. I don't remember either.
Yeah, it was some along the lines. Girl, thank you for being on the podcast again.
Yes, it's my pleasure.
We weren't eating on this podcast.
No, but we're gonna eat next because I'm hungry.
Okay, what are you feeling hungry for?
Honestly, I don't even know. What should we get? By the time you guys will tell us, it's gonna be too late.
Well, thank you everybody for watching this podcast. I hope you gained a little bit of insight on something. I don't even know, but feel free to hit that subscribe button and the like button. You guys say that.
Don't feel free, do it. Hit that like and subscribe. Subscribe. Or I'm gonna come after you.
Yeah. Oh, also, you should maybe comment some stories about your relationship if you're in a relationship. I don't even know.
Or some advice and traditions or things that you think would be fun to incorporate in a wedding, especially a mixed culture wedding.
Yeah, because you have a mixed culture wedding.
Yeah, we're bringing Hispanic and Mennonite together.
It's gonna be a party. We were not on the same page. Anyway, I will see you in the next podcast. Peace.
And I will see you guys then when I see you. Bye.
Bye-bye.